That. Thanks, Eric. And he's like, yeah. He's like, but the real reason I'm calling you is because I thought it'd be so cool, man, if you could play at my, and I thought for sure he was going to say wedding, but he didn't. He said, I thought it'd be so cool if you could play at my proposal. And I was like, wait, what did you just say? He goes, I thought it'd be so cool if you could play at my proposal. And I'm like, I've never actually done that before. What exactly do you want me to do? And he said, I just thought it'd be so cool, man, if like, when I went down on my knee, if you like, appeared. And started playing. And I laughed too. I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah. So we talked about it for a while longer, and finally I'm like, you know what? This is too weird and too cool for me to pass up. I'm totally in. So he flies in from Utah, and we stage this thing in Southern California. There's a beach called Balboa Beach. There's a pier, and at the end of the pier is a restaurant called Ruby's. And so anyways, Eric is like, meet me on the pier at such and such a time. He's like, look for a dude in a suit. I'm like, right. Look for a tall, bald guy with a guitar. He's like, right. So we met on the pier, and he's like, okay, dude, this is what's gonna happen. He said, you're gonna go down to the end of the pier where the restaurant is, and when Deborah comes down the pier and I go down on my knee, you have to run out there and start playing. I'm like, cool, all right, cool. And so he goes a little bit beyond the pier to the very end, the restaurant, to the very end of the pier. I'm in the restaurant looking out the window, and Deborah, her parents are in on the whole thing, so she thinks that she's heading out with the family to a musical or to a play or something, and they're like, you know what, we're early for the show, it's a beautiful night, let's take a stroll down the pier. And she's like, okay, she has no idea what's coming, so the stage is totally set. And I remember I was standing in the Ruby's restaurant looking out the window, and my hands were all sweaty, and I'm like, this is the weirdest gig I've ever played, man. And so I saw a girl walking down the pier, and I knew it was her because there was two older people behind her, like walking, looking all expectantly behind her. And I'm like, that's got to be Deborah, right? And so she comes, and you can see that Eric has seen her, but she has not seen him. And so you could almost see Eric's heart like beating out of his chest as he's watching Deborah walk toward him. And then next thing you know, she recognizes that he's there, and she flips out, and he runs toward her, and he goes down on his knee, and he's holding onto her hands. And I just, if I hit pause right here, I'm in the Ruby's restaurant, I'm looking out the window, and there's a family of 5 eating burgers and fries right here next to me, and I'm literally like standing almost like over their table to see out the window. And so I think they were concerned. There's like, why is there a guy with a guitar strapped on his body like standing right here? And so we start talking, and I'm explaining what's happening, and then we're watching, and we're getting transfixed in the moment. We're like, this is really cool, right? So we're watching, and I'm like, oh, here she comes. Okay, he's down on his knee. This is awesome. And then I felt really proud. I'm like, this is so cool for me to be a part of this moment. And this time started going by, and I was kind of, thinking about it, and then it dawned on me, he was down on his knee for a while. I'm like, hold on, I'm supposed to appear. So I throw open the door, and I start sprinting toward them because I was afraid that I missed my moment. And I think from Deborah's perspective, it was all way overwhelming, because first it's like, why is Eric at the end of the pier in a tux? And then I know she's like, why is that tall bald guy sprinting at me? And I ran right up next to him, I started playing the song and tried to be calm and cool and collected, and then she mellowed out, because after all, it was her song, their song. But the worst part about this story is that she said no. That is actually not true at all. She said yes. But it did cross my mind while I was playing. I'm like, wait a second, she could say no, and that would be so awkward for everybody involved here, including me. But because I tell that story, I've literally played at 3 other proposals, no joke. And one of them I like jumped out of the bushes and scared this girl half to death and just started playing. This is one of those hopeless romantic songs. It's called Seabreeze. Hopefully you like it. Here we go.